If you watch Invincible, I'm going to say something that's probably already in the back of your head. Omni-Man is the main character. In most stories, the main character is the one we follow. In Invincible, that's Mark Grayson. But there is a difference between a character we follow and a protagonist. A protagonist is the person whose choices drive the plot, and whose internal change defines the story's heart and soul. When you peel back the violence and subverted superhero tropes, you realize that Invincible isn't just about a teen becoming a superhero. It's about a superior being from a physically dominant race learning to be human. And this is why Omni-Man is the true main character of the series. From the final moments of episode 1, the entire narrative shifts toward Nolan. Mark is reactive. He reacts to his powers, he reacts to villains, and he reacts to his father. Nolan, however, is the active agent. His decision to take out the Guardians of the Globe is what sets off the series. Every mystery Cecil investigates, every fear Debbie feels, every moral dilemma Mark faces is a direct result of Nolan's actions. Nolan isn't just a hurdle for the hero, he is the mountain the hero is standing on. One of the defining moments of the series is when Mark finally tells his dad he got his powers. We're expecting Nolan to be happy. After all, this is what we've been set up to anticipate. It's what we saw coming, but instead, we see a dead look on Nolan's face as he remembers why he was on Earth in the first place. And this is what makes Omni-Man the heart of the show, his internal conflict. We see Mark as a good guy because it's in his nature, but is that his nature because he was nurtured on Earth with loving parents? Because on the other side, Nolan is seen as a bad guy who has to fight his own nature to find goodness, which is hard to do when all you know is war and never see love, and not to mention had this programmed in for 1,000 years. The only thing he knew on Viltrum was to not be weak, as we find out later in the series that his own parents try to kill him as an initiation into Viltrumite adulthood. When we look at the other Viltrumites, or even an honorable mention like Thaedus, we see extremes. Thaedus is the rebel who chose a side a long time ago. He was the first to see how cruel his own race was, and honestly makes him a pretty awesome character, but the rest are cold conquerors. Nolan is the only one caught in the middle. In season 2, his time on Thraxa proves he didn't just fail his mission, he was completely changed by the very humanity he claimed to despise. His struggle to reconcile Viltrumite duty with human love is the most complex psychological arc in the show. Like in season 2, he can't understand why he cares. When he looks at Mark, he has tears, but as soon as the Viltrumites arrive, he immediately hides any sign of weakness and stands tall ready for war. We see this first in season 1 with the famous "Think, Mark" monologue. Is often viewed as Nolan trying to break Mark. In reality, it's Nolan trying to break himself. He is screaming at his son because he can't understand why he can't finish the job, which up until this point was his only reason for life. His role as a loving father and husband, and someone who tries to save beings weaker than him, are flaws in the eyes of the Viltrum Empire, but it's the greatest character strength for the viewer. While Mark is learning how to punch harder, Nolan is learning the weight of a life, no matter how fragile it is. The flashback to Mark's childhood baseball game during the middle of a massacre is the defining moment of the series. It shows that despite his thousands of years of life, that short time on Earth, as a father to Mark, as a husband to Debbie, as a friend to Art, were the only ones that actually mattered. What takes down the Viltrum Empire isn't a stronger species, it's the realization there's more to life than war. We get to see the full redemption of Nolan in season 4. We see him do something no Viltrumite does. He apologizes and takes accountability for his actions. He becomes a father to his sons, caring for Mark after the conquest fight, training Oliver the way he wishes he trained Mark. He becomes the hero he was playing on Earth, risking his life for the greater good of not just one planet, but all of them. He even holds back when finding out Thaedus was not only the one responsible for the Scourge virus, but also created one even worse. He gives the Coalition every known Viltrumite weakness, and even destroyed his own home planet. No one is talking about how brilliant that scene was. Nolan, the character to realize his faults, orchestrated his home planet's destruction. He was beside two people. On one side, his son Mark, who first stood up to him to protect Earth from Viltrum, and on the other side, Thaedus, who was the first Viltrumite to stand up to the Empire, who Nolan once hated. And we can't forget Space Racer in front, who he brought back to life, apologized to, and brought on the team. By the time we get deep into the story, Mark becomes a symbol of hope, but Nolan becomes a symbol of transformation. We're hooked on Invincible because we want to see if a man who realizes his mistakes can ever truly come back. Mark is the hero we want to be, but Nolan is the character we can't look away from. He is the engine, the conflict, and the heart of the show. His redemption arc and self-reflection is what keeps us invested, and that's why I feel like Omni-Man is the main character of Invincible. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments if you agreed and who your favorite character is in the series. Thank you for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video and subscribe for more videos.